Hi everybody. Today I want to talk with you about weight loss plateaus. We all hit them, but how we react to them has everything to do with our long-term success. Some people will hit a plateau and just keep working and push through it. A lot of people will hit that plateau and feel really demotivated and give up, and sometimes just stay stuck at that point, and sometimes gain some of the weight back because you just get so demotivated and demoralized by not being able to break through whatever your number is that it can cause just total breakdown and people giving up. So I really want to address this. The thing about weight loss plateaus is that there can be a lot of different reasons for them, and if you can find your reason, usually that's going to be your key to success, to busting through it, if that's what you need to do. So the first thing that I look at is, why is this person stuck? Sometimes we hit a plateau because we've just lost such an amount of weight in whatever period of time that our body needs time to rest. That's actually not a bad thing. If your body just needs a little bit of time to adjust to that new set point, I'm sure you've all heard that term before. Sometimes, say for example, you're going down from 250 pounds and maybe you want to lose 100 pounds. You might get to perhaps about 190 and your body just gets stuck. That might not be a bad thing, because if you lose that whole 100 pounds just really consistently and it all comes off over the course of a year, year and a half, whatever it takes you, sometimes emotionally that's really hard to deal with, and physically too. So maybe you'll lose that first big amount of weight and then get stuck for a while. That gives you time for your body to adjust to all the detoxing that you've been doing, because obviously when you're losing body fat, you're really detoxing, because that's where we hold a lot of our toxins. So maybe that plateau is giving your body somewhere to rest. It also gives us time to adjust emotionally, because we know that weight gain and weight loss is a really emotional journey. And if you look at, where you were last time you were 190 pounds emotionally, maybe that'll give you a key to why you're stuck there this time. Maybe there was, a trauma in your life at that time, or a reason that you went from 190 up to 250. I mean, of course there's a reason, but maybe that reason is what's keeping you stuck on the way back down. So really do some writing on it, or talk with your therapist, or whatever you do to dig to the bottom of whatever your issues are, and have a look at what happened last time you were at that particular weight, because that might be the reason for your plateau. Now, if that is the reason, then you should embrace that plateau and say, okay, this is my opportunity for healing. Here I am stuck at this weight. My body needs to rest. My emotions need to rest, whatever it is. Maybe that's time to let yourself sit at that weight for a month or 2 months or whatever it takes to work on your issues and give yourself permission emotionally to keep going on your journey and lose the last 40 pounds or whatever it is to get to your goal. Now, another reason for a plateau, though, can be that when you're on a long journey, sometimes you get to a certain point and maybe start to slide a little bit. You've been really good on your fitness plan and your nutrition plan, and you've just been all over it, and you've been really dedicated and really diligent. Sometimes we get to a point where we just need to ease off a little bit. And if that's the case, that can be okay too. Obviously you don't want to give up on your journey, like, oh, I've got such a long way to go and I just need, I'm just going to stay here because this is where I got comfortable. But maybe you just need that time to kind of just not be as rigid, because we know from watching some of our friends who've gone through big journeys and lost a lot of weight, if you're really rigid for too long, sometimes you'll bounce back, and that's where people can gain all the weight back. And we've seen that. I mean, I've done that. You've probably done that. Most of us have done that on our journeys, where you're so good and so rigid, and then you get to your goal or your plateau or wherever it is that you get stuck, and you just freak out and start eating again. And sometimes that's because we've been too rigid for too long. Sometimes that's because we didn't deal with the emotions on the way back down to our goal weight. So, these are all just different issues to look at when you're stuck at a plateau. And the other one, and I think this is really important, I've been talking with a few different people about this recently, is our body image. Often when we've gained a lot of weight, we see ourselves as that big person. And as we lose the weight, the mental image that we have of ourselves and our true physical self don't match anymore. And so sometimes you'll get to a point where maybe you've slimmed down a lot, but in your mind you still see yourself with that extra weight still attached to you. And if you always see that in your head when you think of yourself, that will become true. You know, if your brain believes it, you will physically manifest whatever that is. So that's why a plateau sometimes can be helpful when you're losing weight, because it can give you time to get used to your smaller body. And then, you know, once you're used to, okay, I've been 250 pounds, now 190, now I'm comfortable at 190, now I can move on and keep going down to whatever that goal weight is. So I feel like I've kind of given you a lot of ifs and maybes in this, but hopefully some of these things ring true. And, you know, if you are stuck or you've been stuck before, really look at what was the number that I got stuck at and why do I think I was stuck there? Did I just need a break physically or mentally or emotionally? Or was there a trauma? What is it about that number that you get stuck at that gets you stuck there? Because once you address that, you'll find that when you hit that number again, you'll be able to move through it. And we're here to do it with you. Thank you.